out of the pocket. 7 seconds. 6 seconds. Murray keeps it downfield. It's caught. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins.
Kevin Durant way outside. Delivers. Kevin Durant from downtown. It's a 6-point game.
Plus, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Lewis Sports Network. It is your boy Lewis coming back at you with his first uploaded video in a minute. Back with another banger with yet another video. Make sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, make sure your notifications are turned on, make sure you guys are sharing this on your social media platforms. Truly appreciate it. Hope everybody has enjoyed their weekend. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Sunday evening as we get back into the work week and onto the side of things, man. Let's get onto this video, man, and salute to everybody, man. Continue to like, continue to subscribe, continue to share on your social media platforms. Okay, so this video is basically going to be on why I think that as great as LeBron James is, I don't think that he's going to be the GOAT in terms of the greatest of all time, and also why I believe that he is trying to emulate both Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. Now, I need you to listen to this video to understand why. Why don't I think that LeBron James is going to be the greatest? Now, before I get on my soliloquy as to why I don't think so, LeBron James is one of the greatest players to ever play this game. LeBron James is one of the underrated clutch players of his generation, so I'm not going to sit here and deny that he's not clutch. I'm also going to say that LeBron James has a resume that is worthy enough to be in the discussion for the greatest of all time, okay? That's how much time and body of work LeBron James has put into his NBA career, and you have to respect it, okay? You're talking about a 4-time NBA champion, a 4-time finals MVP, 4-time regular season MVP, along with all the accolades that he's accomplished in his career. He's about to be a 17-time All-Star this year. So again, I give him respect in terms of that, in terms of what he's accomplished, okay? Now, why can he not be the greatest of all time? Well, let's look at it. Well, when you're the 5th leading scorer in the 2011 NBA Finals against the Dallas Mavericks, that does not look good on your resume. You were outscored by Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and Jason Terry. You were the 3rd leading scorer on your own team, and this is LeBron entering his prime while he's with the Miami Heat. Remember, the Miami Heat were predicted to win the NBA title when he joined them, and Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade made all that buzz. They created a lot of controversy. They were the league's most hated team at that time. It was one of the most unprecedented things I've ever seen. But the thing is, when you don't get the job done, and it's funny because then LeBron fans will go, oh, but that same team swept Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers. Yeah, they swept the 2-time defending champions, and the Lakers were the favorites. So they didn't get the job done, okay? The Lakers get the smoke because they were supposed to beat the Dallas Mavericks, and they were supposed to use their bigs. Dallas spread them out, and they ended up sweeping them in the series. And remember, LA had 2 double-digit leads in that series, Game 1 and Game 3. So they get all the smoke. But the funny thing is, why is it that LeBron James fans run to Kobe when we're talking about LeBron? LeBron was the favorite in the NBA Finals. People are comparing the 2nd round to the NBA Finals. Okay? LeBron James and company, they were the favorite to defeat the Mavericks, and you lost 4-2 in an upset when you had no business losing that series. You were the more talented team, and you did not get the job done. And that was when Wade was still playing at an elite prime level. Wade was the finals MVP of that series if the Miami Heat would have won, but they did not. Okay? And LeBron James severely underperformed, and you had, including, he had an 8-point game in the NBA Finals in Game 4. And that looks bad, you know? Okay, so you're saying to yourself, maybe LeBron James could recover from that, and that might be the only blemish where he could build his case for the GOAT. He ends up winning 2 championships back-to-back, and then LeBron's really starting to look like really scary, and then he could really make the case that now he can start to push his GOAT status. Here's the problem then also. 2014 NBA Finals against San Antonio. And this is the mistake that LeBron fans tend to do. They tend to look at his face value statistic and they say, oh, he dominated, which would mean that he didn't show up. 28 points, and he shot 55% from the field. What are you talking about? LeBron showed up. It's just he didn't get help from his teammates. Take a look at games 3 to 5 in that series. And LeBron scored fourth quarter points. He did. But a lot of the fourth quarter points that he scored from the total fourth quarter points he scored in that series were in garbage time, especially when they were down double digits. When they had no chance, I saw that Bosh and Wade were not in the game, but LeBron James still was. And why was that? It was because he was padding his statistics. He was padding his fourth quarter numbers. Can't nobody tell me different. The problem is you take his face value numbers and say that he dominated. But again, when you look at deep into the numbers, how effective was really LeBron in those finals? He wasn't as effective as people think. That's another reason why. And they lost by a record finals margin. This is with LeBron in his prime. Remember, he had lost in 2007 as a young LeBron to Tim Duncan, Manu, and Tony when they were in their prime. This was Tony technically in his prime, up-and-coming Kawhi Leonard. You're talking about Duncan and Manu Ginobili who were past their prime, and they just won with great ball movement, a great system. The Spurs just played with great team chemistry. They just played as a team. And this is with a prime Bosh. This is with a prime LeBron. Wade was not himself in those finals. I get that, but to say that LeBron dominated without looking at the numbers deep, and you're just taking them at face value, which is what LeBron fans tend to do in terms of that mistake. They tend to just look at that and just say that, oh, he did that. He just didn't have enough help, which is the common excuse and common thread that I always hear. Then you look at 2018. No, I'm actually even going to go to 2017 because I'm not even going to go to 2015. I'm going to skip that. I'm just looking at some because I could go into a totality because then that would tell me that I'm going into a 6 finals losses. But you look at that 2014, fine. You go to 2017 when Kevin Durant joins, when Cleveland wins the title coming back from 3-1. Kevin Durant outscored LeBron in the fourth quarter 31-11. Oh, and let me backtrack a bit back to the 2011 NBA Finals. Dirk Nowitzki outscored LeBron 52-11 in the fourth quarter in that entire series. Kevin Durant outscored LeBron 31-11 in the 2017 NBA Finals. So basically, in 2 NBA Finals, you scored a total of 11 points in a 7-game series in the NBA Finals. That means where your team needed you, you were not coming through in the fourth quarter. So there's that. And they got blitzkrieged by the Golden State Warriors in a gentleman's sweep. Most people thought that kind of should have been a 4-game sweep with how Golden State was dominating, but they should have won. They should have won Game 3. Now, I'm not saying that the Cavaliers were going to win the series. No, because the Warriors were the favorites. But in terms of competition, they was able to get 1, but they should have had 2. And Game 3 was the one because you're looking at the difference in a 3-1. You're looking at the difference from a 3-0 Warriors lead to a 2-2 series tie. And then going into Game 5 tied at 2. And then we go into 2018. Now, am I saying that the Warriors were going to allow the Cavaliers to win a game? They should have lost Game 1. I'm on record as saying that the Warriors should have lost Game 1. The calls were wishy-washy. There was bad officiating on both sides. You could kind of make the case that the Cavaliers kind of got the game stolen, but here's the bottom line. LeBron James quit on his troops after scoring 51 points. And here's the one thing that you have to notice about LeBron James. When LeBron James he could be good throughout the game and he's scoring 40 plus points, but once he starts to get into that 49 to 50 range, he really starts to slow down and starts to gas out a little bit. And I know what LeBron fans are going to say, oh, that's because he's just doing so much. And he had a 51-8-8 game. The thing is that LeBron James, after Game 4, basically, you put your wife's scarf on your cast on your right hand to say you pretty much played the finals with a broken hand. And I say that's not your broken hand, that's your broken spirit. That's what your wife's scarf around your broken cast, quote unquote, represents, your broken spirit. And my point is that you quit on the Cavaliers. You quit on the Cavs. Okay? Now, when you do that and then you make an excuse to the media claiming that you had a broken hand in the NBA Finals, I can't respect you for that. Okay? It's one thing if you go down swinging, act like a true professional. To sit here and say that you didn't have help in those finals is utterly ridiculous because Game 1 was right within your grasp, but you quit 5 minutes into the overtime after it was a tie score and JR did his blunder after the George Hill missed free throw, whatever. But you did your poor job as a leader, and then it galvanized the troops. You still had a chance to win that game. LeBron then went on the podium and said that, oh, after game 1, like, we knew that the series was over. You don't say that as a leader. And besides, after game 1, you move on. You still have game 2, game 3, and game 4. And you didn't get and you chose not to compete. And the funny thing is, in game 3, the Cavs were in the game. They were only just down by 3. And I remember Rodney Hood gave him 15 points. I think he scored about 7 to 8 points in the fourth quarter. I could be wrong about that. One of you guys can correct me in the comment section. But LeBron decided to avoid the smoke and get away from KD. And the funny thing is, they were in the game partly because Curry and Klay Thompson struggled all night long. They struggled all night long. The game was close, and still, you lost the game in a close game. And then in game 4, LeBron just packed it in and just gave up. And then that was his meal ticket to leave to LA after half the team got traded, by the trade deadline. That was LeBron's exit ticket out of Cleveland. I don't care what anybody says, man. When you get outscored by a role player on another team, when you're the third leading scorer on your own team in an NBA Finals, when you get outscored in the fourth quarter not once but twice in an NBA Finals in your 6 finals losses, when you literally quit when things don't go in your favor, what do you expect, man? And that's why he ended up bolting. So if you're thinking that I'm basically saying this stuff to basically say that you're a hater, then you obviously are not paying attention and you're just in your feelings when it comes to LeBron. Okay? I don't care if you like LeBron as your favorite player. I don't got a problem with that. Just be honest and tell the truth about his career. The thing is, LeBron does a lot of front running and people just don't pay attention to that. Okay? They'll, and it's really more so the fanboys that they're just harping on his every word, and they really don't catch the indirects that he be throwing to the media when he talks. Like I said before, LeBron James is one of the greatest players of all time. I have him ranked 6th all time. And I told you, from my eyes, you can rank LeBron anywhere from 5 to 10. Okay? If you're saying that I have him at 6 and you're just obviously hating because why isn't he top 5 or top 3, that just basically means you're in your feelings about where I rank a player. It doesn't matter where I rank a player, it matters where you rank LeBron James. Okay? As a LeBron James fan. That's all that matters. But the bottom line is, when you have all those deficiencies and flaws, when you're talking about the greatest, it's like I asked before, when it comes to MJ, where was a time did I have to point to MJ where he quit on his team? You could talk about the 1-9 argument with Scottie Pippen. You could talk about he never won titles without Phil Jackson or Scottie Pippen. But I go back to this question. Even when Michael was losing, when have you ever seen Mike quit on his team? The bottom line is, what LeBron James is, when the going gets tough, you can get him to quit. And if you're thinking that I'm saying this as a biased Kobe fan, I'm saying this right now. Kobe was known to quit too, okay? And this is a Kobe Bryant fan telling you this. Kobe has had his moments of quitting too. And that's why I said that Kobe and LeBron are actually similar in that sense. You could take it as me hating on Kobe all you want, but I'm telling you the truth. Both LeBron and Kobe have both been known to quit when the going gets tough for them. It's the truth. Okay? Take it as you want it with a grain of salt. I could care less. But this is the reason why, in my eyes, as great as LeBron is, and like I said, I have him 6 all time. You could, if you want to have him in the top 5, you can. But this is why he could never be the greatest of all time. When you're throwing teammates under the bus, when you have kind of those flaws in the NBA Finals, because look, he has 4 Finals MVPs. Again, he has a case to be the greatest. But I just told you reasons why. I could go even deeper, but I'm just taking it easy, so I'm not going to do that. So I know that this is a bit of a long video, but I just had to make my case. And then I'm going to end it with this, folks. You have to think about this. Why is LeBron James in LA? Think about it. Why is LBJ in LA? The Lakers, historic organization. You look at the lineage of players that have played there. Mikan, Jabbar, Chamberlain, Shaq, Jerry West, Magic, Kobe, Worthy. LeBron wants to be part of that lineage because in terms of his status, his legendary status, it does well for the fact that he played for a historic organization that now winning his 4th title in his career and helping the Lakers get their 17th championship with Anthony Davis on the team as his co-star. It does well for LeBron's brand, and it does well for him in NBA history, where he could consider himself like, I was known as one of the great Lakers. And this is only LeBron's 3rd season in LA, and in his 2nd season he has an NBA championship. So this is why I also said that he wants to, in a way, I'm not talking about he wants to be Kobe Bryant in terms of play style, because he doesn't play like Kobe. And I'm not talking about that, he wants to be like Michael Jordan, because he doesn't play like Michael Jordan. So I'm not talking about play style. The reason why I say that LeBron wants to be both Kobe and Jordan is because of what they have. Now, when it comes to Kobe, what did LeBron do? He passed both Kobe and Jordan on the all-time scoring list. He plays for the Lakers. Kobe played 20 years for the Lakers. And in a way, they're trying to make it seem like if they're trying to kind of quote-unquote forget his legacy and what he brought there. And Kobe won 5 championships with Shaq and Powell, in the 20 years that he was, with the Lakers, with two different rosters, right? Now with Michael Jordan, LeBron idolized MJ, right? That's number one. When he passed him on the all-time scoring list, he talked about how he wanted to wear shoes like MJ, how he wanted to talk like MJ, how he wanted to stick his tongue out like MJ, play the game like MJ, model his game after MJ, even though he plays obviously different than MJ, right? But he also said, because he kind of looks at Jordan as kind of like a father figure, almost like the dad that he never had, right? But then also look at this. LeBron James wears the number 23. Who is the original 23 worn by? Michael Jordan. Also, LeBron is doing Space Jam. Now, we could get on Kobe all we want and say, how Kobe Bryant patterned his game after Michael. But Kobe wore number 8. Kobe wore number 24. He patterned his game after Mike, but Kobe actually, Kobe stuck his tongue out like Mike. He, had the mannerisms like Mike. So yeah, he did pattern his game after Jordan. But I'm gonna also say this. Kobe didn't make Space Jam 2. Because, dang, if he would have done that, he really would have copied off of MJ. So I say for the most part, Kobe copied MJ. But look at LeBron. He wears 23, and he's doing Space Jam 2. So I just want you guys to think about that. And like I said, I know that this is a bit of a longer video, but I just had to kind of go in as to when people want to, ask me, where do I rank LeBron James? Like, why do you have so much vendetta for him? Or like, why do you hate him? No, it ain't that, man. I've seen LeBron James from when he came to high school to the NBA, to the pros. I've seen this man's whole career. Like I said, I could go deeper and deeper, but this is the reasons why I don't have him as the best of all time. He is one of the GOATs. He is one of the greatest to ever play, and I'll always give him that kind of respect. But what I cannot respect is when you quit on your team, which he's done before, when you throw people under the bus. And like I said, I could go on and on, but I said I'm not even going to mention some of the other stuff. But that's the reason why I had to go in when it comes to LeBron. Okay? But that doesn't take away how great of a basketball player he is. He's one of the best ever, man. So there's no question about it. Now, and like I said before, if you're looking at this as me hating on LeBron, I don't know what to tell you, man, because I'm not even going to respond to that. That just tells me that you don't listen to the video. Again, what you have to do when it comes to even any player, you have to not really take things at face value and always look deep into the numbers. It goes with any great player. But I just noticed that what LeBron fanboys, I should say, that's what they do. They only take things at face value and never go deep into the numbers. They don't want to do it. When it comes to what he averaged, once they look at the face value stats, they're like, that's the bottom line. They look at the cumulative stats and they're like, that's the bottom line. Okay? And even then so, LeBron is one of the most unbelievable talents to ever grace an NBA court. But why I won't have him the greatest is because of the reasons I listed in this video. And I had to let y'all know that to see where I'm coming from, because I've said this many times. Again, you could say the same thing in many different forms. But like I said before, you can't be getting outplayed by role players in an NBA Finals to call yourself the greatest. You can't win a championship in 2016 coming back from 3-1, and then you wait 3 years later to say that you're the greatest of all time on your national TV show, The Shop. And I say that because he lost 2 years in a row to the Golden State Warriors when KD joined, and then he was on the verge of missing the playoffs in his first season with the Lakers. I know y'all want to say the whole fourth place, but when he activated playoff mode, he lost 12 out of 15, and they were losing to some of the worst teams in the league that were tanking. Don't believe me? Look at the schedule. When he came back from the injury, going up against the Golden State Warriors. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Lewis, man, back with another one at the end of this video. Let me know what you guys think on what I said in the comment section. As always, man, bless up to everybody. Live, laugh, love. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next one. Like, subscribe, and make sure to always share these videos. Salute to everybody.